Welcome, food travelers, to another episode here in Washington State. In this episode, we're headed to a Cascadian BBQ restaurant located in the historic downtown of Snoqualmie, Washington. And this restaurant is called Buckshot Honey. It's in a really old building with a lot of history, where the building previously served as a bank, a police station, and also the city hall. And their hours of operation is from Wednesdays to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yeah, Micah, I really liked this place, and as you mentioned, it's a historic building, which was really cool. So going inside and kind of taking a look and kind of even peering on the outside was really nice to see. Very interesting. So I really enjoyed actually sitting inside and having the meal that we had. Something I also did really like was seeing that pit that was outside. That's something you see very often if you're having Texas barbecue in Texas, and it's something that I actually really liked seeing that was here.
Yeah, Simon, I totally agree with you there. It's kind of interesting. A lot of Washington barbecue restaurants, we don't often see the pits outside, and oftentimes it might be inside. I'm not really sure why they do that. What do you think, Simon?
I think it's probably due to the rain. Since we get so much rain here, thinking that pit outside, especially if it's uncovered, you just don't, it'll get all wet and it'll ruin the barbecue. So I think to keep it safe, so many of the barbecue places in Washington keep it inside, and so just something for them to hopefully keep the quality up, but just a different atmosphere than having the pits outside like they do in Texas.
Yeah, and I kind of like this location. It's pretty small and intimate, and it's nice that there's a upstairs portion that we got to kind of watch them prepare the meats and everything. So the thing that we order is called Little Side Board. It's about 1 pound of mixed pulled pork and brisket. It comes with 3 sides, and the 3 sides that we got was the cornbread, papaya salad, and the mac and cheese. We did go back here and order another pound of brisket. As you guys may know, we do eat a lot of food, and we did really enjoy the brisket. Another thing I did want to mention is, at the time of this recording, it was something I really did want to try, but it was not available, was the hot apple pie with cheddar.
And that was something we discussed, Michael, when we were there, and it sounded really interesting and really delicious, but unfortunately they did not have it at the time we were there, which pretty much sucked because we came here and we were probably the first people that were in here because we wanted to try it and hopefully not have anything sold out or be gone, but they just did not have that dessert at the time.
And another thing I did want to mention is, I think it's pretty interesting for probably one of our first times going to a barbecue restaurant where they actually add salt flakes to the brisket and the pulled pork.
That definitely was something that was a very nice touch. Something that first bite, Micah, when I took from the brisket, it really made the flavor of the brisket pop out, especially the crust on the outside, all the spices that they used from there. The brisket was really nice. It's not as tender as I would hope, but flavor-wise, especially with the salt flakes that you mentioned, it just made the flavor just pop out really nice.
Yeah, like you said, it's not as tender as we get to try in Texas, but for Washington State, it's pretty good. As you saw in the video, the texture, it just easily breaks apart.
Yeah, by all means, it's not tough or anything. So as you saw through the video, it's pull apart and everything else. But coming from Texas, when you've had that Texas brisket, you really kind of see that tenderness that you kind of start to expect as you try other barbecue. But by all means, it is a very good piece of brisket.
Another thing I wanted to mention is, for the first time having Texas or just barbecue in general, the mac and cheese over here was really good, and being seashell shaped, it was so creamy and absorbed all the sauce and everything. It was just really good every single bite.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one too. The mac and cheese was pretty amazing. I really did enjoy that one. It was something that usually we don't get mac and cheese too often because it's always a second thought. in this case, it felt like they kind of really did focus and put something or a little more effort into it and made it really tasty.
Yeah, and as you saw in the video, that brisket piece was almost as big as Simon's face, if not bigger. So that was definitely a newer one for us. We don't usually get brisket that large. But overall, I really did enjoy this restaurant, and I would recommend coming here if you're in the Snoqualmie area.
To wrap up this episode is our notables. For Buckshot Honey, the mac and cheese was amazing. The cheese was wonderfully rich, smooth, and creamy. It accompanies the pasta shells really, really well, which allowed for the cheese to really be sopped up by the shells that made for a delicious bite. So if you visit Buckshot Honey, don't forget to add the mac and cheese as one of your sides.
And to support our channel, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for the YouTube algorithm. And for more photos, follow us on Instagram. See you guys on the next episode.